Welcome to This Week with Old Sarge. This week, talking about the process to get invited to the State Police Academy. Getting invited is the key phrase. You're not an employee of the State Police until you graduate the academy. So just an invitation. So, way back when, I decided to apply for the State Police. So I see the, invitation in the doggone newspaper. Says these dates, these times, these locations, you can take a state police test. Like, all right. And they give some, this is how much you'll be making if, when you graduate the academy and the benefits and all that kind of stuff. Hell of a lot more than I was making building houses. So I'm like, all right, we'll give that a shot. So I show up real early on the date and time specified and the location. Over an hour away from the house. Got there super early. Woo, all dressed up, looking professional. Military haircut, everything squared away. Pull up there, and there's already a bunch of people in line. I'm like, dang, some people got here super early. So I head on over and jump in line. About an hour later, front door opens. They start letting people in, working your way slowly up there. Finally get through the front door. There's a bunch of big old troopers. Woo, boy, they all shined up, looking good. Mean looking. And they giving people in front of me a rash of shit. Showing up in t-shirts, shorts, tennis shoes. You doggone there for a professional job and you gonna show up looking like you just came off the doggone street? Wrong answer. So I give them a thumbprint, sign in, go down the auditorium, listen to all the instructions, because if you fill out your test wrong, you're out. Attention to details, everything. And I know this from my military training. So I sit there and listen real good. And they tell us, all right, you got 2 hours to take this test. Time starts now. Boom, go. So here we go. Start filling everything out, going through there, get it all done, turn it in right before the 2 hours is up. They tell me not to let the doorknob hit me in the ass on the way out and get the hell out. We'll let you know. All right, thanks. So over 10,000 people took tests that day. 3 different locations. Like 3 different times at each location, different sessions. Drive back, a couple months later, get a letter. Says you are in the process. Woo! Cleared that first hurdle. Right over that thing. Alrighty. A couple months later, get this big old packet in the mail. Fill out everything there is to know about you in this packet. Ask you every question that could be imagined. Where you lived, where you worked, all the places you went to school, your whole doggone life. Fill this thing out, and there's a big old booklet of instructions that come with it, how to fill it out. You better pay attention to them instructions, because you don't fill it out right in the trash, you're out of the process. So I take a considerable amount of time filling this thing out, attaching all the documents, approves everything, just like it says in the instructions. Get this whole big packet, mail it back to them. A couple months later, get another letter. You're still in the process. Hot dog. So, now we got to go for the medical. Go down for the medical. You've already filled out all your medical history. Sit in front of these doctors and they flip through this stuff and ask you a bunch of questions. Kick you out of the room. A couple months later, still in the process. They send a trooper to your house, your background investigator. Goes over all your information that you filled out in that huge packet, checking everything out, making sure everything's good to go. It better be good to go or you're out of the process. So we'll go see the psychiatrist. We'll go down and take the physical test. They tell you what's going to be on the physical test and the time limits and how many repetitions and all that you got to do for different exercises and different things. So you better be squared away when you get there, because they ain't fooling around. Boom, boom, boom. They're just running people through. So now every time you went to one of these, psychiatrists, whatever, they lined you up alphabetically. So you're always behind the same person, and the person behind you never changes unless they don't get invited to the next step of the process. But this guy in front of me, he's made it all the way through. Every time I've showed up for something, he's been there. I've been standing behind him. I know this guy. Recognize him anywhere. So the day comes that we get the letter says you've been invited to the academy. Be here this location, this time, this date. Don't be late. They also give you this big old long list of stuff you got to buy for the academy. Uniforms, cold weather gear, swimming trunks, all this other kind of stuff. So you just load it down with all kinds of equipment when you show up the first day, and I'm there early. Pull up at the front gate, a little guard post there, big old trooper standing out there. Let me see your ID. Give him the ID. Checks me off on the list. Says you drive right down this road and park in that gravel parking lot at the end. Yes, sir. Drive on in there. Now it's a split road. You got an entrance and an exit, and in between them there's these little grass islands with trees and flowers and stuff like that. Everywhere you can make a turn, there's the island ends and then starts again. So there's all these little islands running down towards this parking lot that we're told to park in. So I drive on down there in the dark, because I'm there at old dark doggone 30, like you're supposed to be. Pull in there, a couple cars already there. And the trooper at the gate said, stay in your car till we come and get you. So I'll pull up there, park, staying in my car. And then a bunch more cars start showing up. Now they invited over 200 people to show up for the academy. Well over 200. And we graduated a little over 150. So they went through a bunch of them, weeding them out. That's what the whole process has been about. Supposedly 10,000 folks showed up to take the test. The very first test when this whole thing started. And they whittled it down to a little over 200. So we all pull up there and we're sitting there waiting. Doggone appointed time comes. Right on the dot, a bunch of troopers come streaming out of this building. The academy staff. And they're looking good. All shined up, wearing the uniform, yelling and screaming, looking meaner than hell. Woo! They started yelling just like doggone first day of base training. Get the hell out of the car, let's go, let's go, let's go. And they start running you all over the place. Drop down and give me 10. You, run over there, see this trooper, tell him what your name is. They just got people running all over the place. I mean, it is like rush hour out there. Weeding people out that shouldn't be there and ain't going to be able to make it through the academy. So that's all right. I've been through this in the military. You want me to run? I'll run. You want me to do push-ups? Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. Not a problem. So they run us around out there for a good half an hour or so. And they said, all right, go get all the crap out of your car, march across the road, down to building number whatever. Stand there and wait for further orders. No problem. Break ranks. Everybody runs to their car, starts dragging all their crap out. Had you bring about twice as much shit as you need, but that's done on purpose just to mess with you. So here you are all loaded down, looking like a fucking penguin coming off an overseas flight, trying to carry all this shit, dragging it across this gravel parking lot to the road. But we can't cross the road because there's a car coming down nice and slow. It's like, dang, man. Hurry up. Shit's heavy. And this car's getting closer and closer. You know, sun's up by now a little bit. You know, dawn's broke and the whole bit. And all of a sudden, these troopers that were yelling at us start running over this car, yelling at the guy in the car. And he's slowed down, but he didn't stop. You know, he's still rolling forward. They're running beside the car, just yelling and screaming all at once. Can't even make it out, but they're fucking pissed. This guy in his car is getting closer and closer to us, coming down the entrance road. Well, there's a gap there in those islands. He bangs a U-turn, and when he's banging that U-turn, That's that guy I've been standing behind for a year and a fucking half. He showed up late on the first day. Oh, bad move. Bad move. Year and a half of your life and you show up late on the first day? And he knows it. He's like, if I stop this car, they're going to smoke me until there ain't nothing but ashes left. He bangs a U-turn, starts driving back out towards the front gate. He's waving in the back window to us as he's driving out. See ya. It's like, oh, probably a good move on his part. Now they're really pissed. You know, the whole group punishment thing. They start taking it out on us that he showed up late. They run us over in front of this building, break us up into 2 platoons, tell us where we're going to be sleeping at, because it's a sleepover doggone academy. You're there the whole doggone week. We go crashing into these barracks, you know, all trying to cram in there at the same time, carrying all this gear, finding your bunk, finding your wall locker. They've already told you, you know, in the paperwork you got how they wanted everything set up in your wall locker so you're hanging stuff up fast as you can. Troops are in there yelling and screaming at you. Let's go, ladies, hurry up, let's go, uniform of the day. Get that squared away, make your bunk, get outside. It's like, wow, man, we're fucking just a bunch of assholes and elbows. Boy, we are going after it, getting everything squared away, getting changed. Make that bunk up just like I did in the military with those hospital corners. Boy, you can bounce something off that bad boy. And that trooper, he's yelling and screaming in there, and he walks over to me and he points at me and he says, "You idiot! So this guy didn't show up, so make his bunk." It's like, yes, sir. It's like, dang, I stood behind you for a year and a half, and you showed up late the first day of the academy, and now I got to make you doggone bunk. They left that bunk open all week, but that's all right. Come next Monday, they lost a bunch of folks, didn't show up for the second week. So everything just got compressed into barracks and it worked out all right. Woo! Weeding them out. Gotta love it. Attention to detail, way of life. So, shout out section this week. All my B troopers out there doing a JOB and holding true to their oath, taking care of business, doing things right the first time, every time. Attention to detail. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you best be keeping track of each other now, doggone it. Military, we appreciate what you're doing out there. At home and overseas, keeping us safe. Showing the flag. Doing what needs to be done. It's appreciated. So thank you. Thank you very much. So till next week, be a Christmas pig. Bye now.